Welcome to the Maven Marketing Podcast. Today is Maven Monday. I'm your host, Brandon Welch, and I'm here with Caleb Polka Dot Shirt Agee.
Hey, you got polka dots today
We
too.
are polka dot.
I love it when we
worthy.
describe what we're wearing for
Yes.
the
So
audio
good.
only listeners.
I'm talking a hunter green.
I've been told this is my big green egg shirt.
Oh yeah, it's a big green egg with polka dots.
Yeah.
And I'm big blue egg with with polka dots.
Something like that.
This is the place where we eliminate waste in advertising, grow your business, and help you achieve the big dream. And it is Monday.
It's Monday. We've
Yeah.
got a
Sorry
quick
for putting this
for
episode
you.
out a little bit late.
Yeah.
We had a wild week.
Yeah, we did. Hey, Brandon, you and a group of 9 friends got an Airbnb. You're out somewhere. Where do you want to be? Let's go to the mountains.
Mountains was really where I went.
That's
Yeah,
where
for
you.
sure.
That's where you're feeling. And you coordinated the trip, so you want to bring a lot of hospitality. This is how you want to make it
That's how I
right.
roll.
You know.
Yes.
So they're all coffee snobs though,
Mm.
and you could take them to a coffee shop, but it'd be more special if you made the coffee yourself, right? So, you grind your best beans, you check your measurements, you use the right filtered water, and you slowly pour those beans into the French press.
Mm.
Put a little bit of water. You got to get them wet first. Let
Yes.
the thing bloom a little bit first.
Speak my language.
Okay. Then we fill it up the rest of the way, give it a full 4 minutes before we push the plunger down slowly, right?
Yes.
And now you've
with
got
you.
beautiful French press ready to go. You get out 10 mugs for you and your friends, and you realize very quickly that's only going to fill up 2 cups.
Mm.
So you have an option.
Mm.
You can either give them each a swig, or you can fill up 2 cups and keep working on more coffee. Which one do you think you're going to choose?
Wait for the better result.
You're obviously going to give the 2 people who can have a full cup of coffee,
Yeah.
full cup of coffee, and they're coffee snobs. So even if you handed them, if you're like, hey, I guess we can separate it out a little
Yeah.
bit
Here's
lighter,
your-
they'd be like,
here's your ounce and a half. Yeah.
no thanks, I'll wait. That would be their
Yes.
answer, right? I'll wait for
Yes.
the good thing. I'll wait for the right thing.
The warmth. Yes.
Yeah.
This is such a good analogy. I didn't know you were going to do that.
Surprise. There you go. So
we're
bring
starting
excellence.
this is a little micro segment,
yeah.
and there's no promises to win or how often we'll do these, but it's going to be called I don't know who needs to hear this, but that's you see that little acronym? There's got to be a little acronym we can make out of that. And the
Mhm.
title, it's a short episode, and it's a one rhinoceros punch to something big we see probably in your way
Mhm.
or in the way of somebody near you.
That's right.
And this one's called I don't know who needs to hear this, but you need to fill one glass at a time.
That's right. What's that mean?
We have encountered a lot of really fancy, wonderful, sophisticated companies that are doing wonderful things, and they're bringing their stuff to the table, and everybody is like trying to spread what is actually a pretty sizable budget, but they're trying to spread it way too thin.
Mm-hmm.
And this is something that we were lucky enough to learn early on in our business. Fill one glass at a time, and for all things business that applies. It can apply to major big rocks you're trying to carry forward. Probably only do one of them per quarter.
Yeah.
Right. It could apply to team members. Hire one really good team member well, or hire one department well. Fix one department and then go on to the next.
Mm-hmm.
There could be anything that fits in this bucket. And it doesn't mean that it has to take a long time, but it means do one thing at a time. We are actually, as humans, very, very poor multiprocessors. We
Yeah.
actually have one brain, not 2, and you can't really, all you're doing is going back and forth.
Yeah.
And
Really
you steal
fast.
energy every time you switch from one thing to the other.
Multitasking is a myth, people.
Yes. And so if you are a company sitting here as it relates to advertising and media, and you're saying, how do I get really good at, YouTube, and how do I get really good at Facebook, and how do I get really good at my email follow-up game, and how do I add text messaging into this? Oh, and this shiny object just came along, and somebody else is trying to sell me this other thing, and it looks really good. And you start thinking about all the possibilities, which visionaries are inherently poor at. Like, they're really bad at saying no to shiny objects.
Oh, I was going to say they're really great at seeing all the opportunities.
They're really good at seeing the opportunities, but they're really poor at saying no. You need to stop. You can do all of them. Take this permission. You can do all of them, but you can do all of them only in time. You need to do one of them well, and that is the only thing that's really going to get you the momentum to A, fully test something, and B, see the fruits of that labor that's going to produce the resources, time, bandwidth, and just like really clarity about
Mhm.
what is actually working. And
Yeah.
I'm seeing so many companies trying to put little micro parts of their budget or even big budgets. I mean, I'm talking one I talked to last week with this easily, $50,000 a month budget, new money. And they were trying to put a little bit here, a little bit here. And it's like, really, to get over the hump, you would rather have, this is the analogy. What would you rather have to your point? 10 people convinced 100% of the way, or 100 people convinced 10% of the way? What would be better for your business if you just think about sheer customers?
If I had just those 10, if they
Yes.
actually gave me their dollars, that's all that matters at the
Yeah.
end of the day.
You'd have 10% of 0 the other way, and you'd
Yeah.
have 100% of 10 people the other way, right?
Yep.
So that absolutely applies to tomorrow marketing.
Mhm.
I think it applies to your selection of platform. Get Google figured out really well before you add something else, or
Mhm.
get Facebook figured out really well before you add Google, if you're not already far down that road. But or if you are, they have been working and both of them are a little off, get one of them fixed well, right?
Yeah.
For traditional and broadcast media, that means pick 1 or 2 audiences and overflow them. We have the formula for how to do that for every
Mhm.
media in the Maven Marketer. And if you will be so kind to put what you need to fill 1 glass at a time on now, could be anything. Just put that in the comments.
Yeah.
We're going to draw from those names and send you a signed copy of the Maven Marketer.
Ooh,
Okay.
love it.
Love it. Boom.
Yeah.
Yes. But I don't know who needs to hear this, but you're probably overcomplicating it. You're probably
Mhm.
trying to do too many things at once. Slow down, take a deep breath, and say, what is the one thing that if I got that right, it would overflow into the others? And then maybe a month from now, maybe a quarter from now, maybe a few years from now, you'll have the money, resources, and time to put in to that second thing. And it could apply everywhere. It could apply in your marriage. It could apply in your church. It could apply anywhere. Anything you're trying to make happen, you're probably trying to do too many things at once. And it feels like pain because we feel like we're pausing and causing the other things not to happen sooner. But actually, in reality, when you knock one down at a time,
Mhm.
the other stuff gets room sooner.
That's right. So what are you going to do? You're going to choose one media or one area in your business that you need to work on and pursue with excellence. You're going to put that in the comments of this video on YouTube. Even if
Yes.
you're on podcast, you could, youtube.com, head on over there.
Yeah.
Drop it in the comment there. You're going to
Tell us which polka dot shirt you like better.
yeah, that's right.
Who's wearing the
Bring
polka
it
dots
on.
better?
You're going to optimize that one part of your business. Also, you think about the scientific method. You can't measure when you don't have a control, right? If you change too
Yes.
many variables, you don't know what worked.
Yes.
Obviously that depends on what thing you're working on in your business. And then just remember that the best marketing plans are shockingly simple.
They are shockingly simple.
They really are.
The biggest, most notable brands just in our backyard I can think of emphatically only spend on 1 to 2 things, and they've been doing it for 20 years.
And they spend $1 million budgets on it.
$1 million budgets in a small market, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
$1 million budgets on, I'm thinking of one guy that does TV only, and then a couple years ago he added billboards.
Mm-hmm.
And he's certifiably the most memorable company.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not that those other platforms wouldn't be good for him.
Mhm.
It's just that the one, by doing it so well, is so overwhelmingly prosperous that he got to simplify his life and his budget and his everything. And now
People who don't
enjoys-
even use those media that they don't even consume the media that he uses, know him.
Yes.
Household name, I would say to the 95th percentile in this
Oh, yeah.
in this city.
And you're like, well, am I leaving people out? Absolutely, you're leaving people out.
Great. Do it.
Great. Do it. You're doing it at the cost of getting the other people at an overwhelming rate that if you look at the math of it, they are so convinced and influenced by what you're doing that they become your customer, and you've got that 100% of a smaller group of people. But that's a lot better than leaving, doing a small amount of noise with a larger group of people.
Yeah. Hey, if you have a question that you would like us to answer on the podcast, please email us, mavenmonday@frankandmaven.com. We would love to answer it if it makes sense for the masses.
Yes.
And no matter what, we'll shoot you an email back with our thoughts on the matter. So,
Maven Monday, frankandmaven.com. We will be back here every Monday answering your real life marketing questions, because marketers who cannot teach you why
are just a fancy lie.
have a great week.